Our next section is accounting schedule section. It has two parts. The first one is statement of profit or loss, and the second one is audit. So let's start it from the top. The accounting schedule section of the UAE corporate tax return is where you provide detailed financial information based on your audited financial statements. It helps the Federal Tax Authority to verify that your tax calculations are consistent with your accounting records and ensures transparency in how taxable income is derived from your books. Even though this section may look technical, it is simply a breakdown of how your profit before tax, as per your accounts, turns into taxable income under UAE corporate tax laws. This section allows the FTA to understand your business financial performance during the tax period, reconcile your accounting profit with your taxable profit or loss, confirm that adjustments for non deductible expenses, exempt income, and reliefs have been properly applied, cross check figures with your audited financial statements that are uploaded to Imaratex. Here are some key compliance notes. Figures must be entered in AED, converted using the official exchange rate if you maintain accounts in another currency. The FTA may request supporting documentation for any adjustment, especially if large or unusual. None of the fields are pre-filled. All must be entered manually. This section applies to both free zone and mainland entities through QFZPs. QFZPs will additionally disclose their qualifying versus non-qualifying income elsewhere. Think this section like a bridge between your financial accounts and your tax return. It shows the FTA exactly how you moved from your book profit to your taxable income, ensuring transparency, accuracy, and compliance. Let's understand the terms in the statement of profit or loss. The first one is operating revenue. It is the income earned from the main business activities during the tax period. For example, sales of goods or services. The second one is expenditure incurred in driving operating revenue. It is the direct cost related to producing or delivering goods or services that generate operating income. For example, cost of sales. Third one is gross profit or loss. It is the difference between operating revenue and related direct costs, representing the profit from core operations. Fourth one is non-operating expenses. These are costs not directly related to core business operations. For example, investment losses, financing costs. Let's move to the next things in the list. The next one is salaries, wages, and related charges. These are employee compensation and benefits, including end of service gratuity and social contributions. The next one is depreciation and amortization. It is the periodic charge to expense for the use of tangible and intangible assets over their useful lives. The next one is fines and penalties. These are non deductible charges imposed by authorities for legal or regulatory violations. The next one is donations. These are voluntary payments to charities or institutions, deductible only if made to qualifying public benefit entities. The next one is client entertainment expenses. These are costs of meals, hospitality, or events for clients, deductible only if directly related to business and within FTA limits. The next one is other expenses. These are general and administrative costs not categorized elsewhere. For example, office rent, utilities, and professional fees. The next one is non operating revenue. It is the income not arising from the main operations. For example, investment or financing income. The next one is dividends received. It is the income from shareholdings in other entities. It is exempt if qualifying under the participation exemption. Let's move to the next line items. The next one is interest income. It is the earnings from deposits, loans, or other financial instruments taxable unless specifically exempt. The next one is interest expenditure. It is the borrowing costs on loans and other financial liabilities deductible subject to interest capping rules. The next one is gains on disposal of assets. These are profit from sale of capital or investment assets may be exempt under participation or transitional relief. The next one is losses on disposal of assets. It is the loss recognized on sale or write off of capital or investment assets. The next one is foreign exchange gains. It is the income arising from favorable changes in exchange rates on monetary items or transactions. The next one is foreign exchange losses. These are losses due to adverse movements in exchange rates on monetary items or foreign transactions. Let's move on to the next things, net gains or losses on foreign exchange. It will be calculated automatically. And the last one item is the net profit or loss calculated by subtracting or adding the above line items automatically. The second section is audit. The question is saying that have the financial statements been audited? The criteria for financial statement audit under the UAE corporate tax law are clearly defined by the Federal Tax Authority through Ministerial Decision number 82 of 2023 and Ministerial Decision number 114 of 2023. These rules specify which entities must prepare and submit audited financial statements when filing their corporate tax return. As a general rule, every taxable person in the UAE, including free zone persons, must prepare financial statements that comply with International Financial Reporting Standards or IFRS for SMEs if eligible. However, not all entities are required to have their financial statements audited. Only specific categories of businesses are required to submit their audited financial statements. The first one is qualifying free zone persons. All qualifying free zone persons who claim the 0% corporate tax rate must prepare and maintain audited financial statements. This is a mandatory requirement to benefit from the 0% tax rate. But here is a compulsory requirement for qualifying free zone person that it should apply the de minimis test. As per FTA, if a free zone person that does not maintain or submit audited financial statements cannot claim or retain QFZP status and will be treated as a regular taxable person for that period. The second one is taxable persons with revenue exceeding AED 50 million. Any business, free zone or mainland whose total revenue exceeds 50 million dirhams during a tax period must have audited financial statements. And there are some other cases where FTA may require for an audited financial statements. Even if your revenue is below AED 50 million, you must submit audited financial statement if your free zone authority requires it as a part of license renewal. For example, JAFZA, DMCC, or Abu Dhabi Global Market, ADGM. Some entities not required to submit audited financials if that is not a qualifying free zone person and its revenue is below 50 million or less and no authority or the FTA requires it, you may submit unaudited financial statements with your corporate tax return. But in all cases, you have to keep the records of previous 7 years of the company. There are 3 points in respect of audited financial statements. The audited financial statements must cover the same tax period as the return. You will be required to upload the signed audited financial statements in PDF format to Imara Tax when filing your return. The FTA may cross-check figures in your return with the audited financial statements to confirm accuracy. Here is a special note for small business relief claimants. If your entity elects to apply small business relief under Article 21 and your revenue is below 3 million dirhams, you are not required to have audited financial statements for that tax period. However, you must still maintain proper accounting records to prove that you meet the relief conditions. Here is some practical guidance. Always verify whether your free zone license or FTA registration specifies an audit requirement. Engage a registered audit firm approved by your free zone authority. Ensure that the audit report is signed, dated, and covers the same financial year used for your tax return. Missing or incorrect audited financials can cause FT rejection or penalties. Here are two questions in the audit section. The first one is, what was the audit opinion? For this, you have to see on your audit report. It might be modified, non modified, or disclaimer of opinion. Each term has its own technical impact. Disclaimer and qualified opinion is not a favorable opinion for a company. In the next question, what is the name of the auditor? You have to write down the audit firm name here. After filling all the details, recheck all the data input and cross match it with your financial statements. After that, you have to click on the next step. Congratulations, you have filled the accounting schedule section. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and press the bell icon. We will meet again in the next video with a more detailed discussion. Thank you.